Well, hello everyone, Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I'm back here on my dream claim. It is a freezing cold Thursday morning. It's mid-November here in British Columbia, Canada, and winter is starting to take over. This is probably my last trip into the dream claim for this year because we're gonna get froze out no time. So wish me luck, and I hope you enjoy. So I'm here for 2 days and I have 2 videos planned. The first video, upriver, where I found that piece of what I think is hard rock gold. I found a piece of gold that was so fresh out of the rock, it has never been tumbled in the water. And I know exactly where it came from. So I am going to go to that calcite seam, take a sample, crush it down, pan it out, and see if it's got any more free-milled gold straight from the bedrock. Then tomorrow, there's a spot I've been wanting to pan for the longest time, and I don't know about putting my hands in that water, but I'm gonna try go pan in one spot and see if there's any gold. That's the plan. Let's get to it. Now first, I have a long, cold hike upriver to where that calcite seam is to do some collecting. Absolutely love this place. It is so beautifully scenic. Everything about it is so scenic. You can't ask for a nicer place to have such an amazing hobby. And here we are at Nugget Bar, my dig site for today. Now, when Bryson and I were here high banking, we were high banking all along this little section of the bar. Up in that height right there. We did a little bit of digging down here as well, but mostly just up through there. And as we were digging, we found 1, 2, 3 calcite seams that we actually were digging right into. They're so decomposed, we were digging right into them. And sometime during that high banking session, we came up with this piece of gold, which is never been run by water, never touched water. It is what they call leaf gold, kind of, and it is straight out of a rock. And because it's so clean with no quartz on it, I think it's straight out of one of these calcite seams. There are a couple of quartz seams around as well, but I think it came straight out of one of these calcite seams because calcite dissolves so easily. That's my theory. I plan to take some samples of that calcite in the bucket back to my brand new crazy crusher and see if I can find some more of that hard rock gold. So I am not a geologist and I don't know the exact right terms for everything. I know that this isn't straight quartz. It's too brittle, it breaks funny. I'm sure if I put acid on it, it would fizz. I'm pretty sure this is a calcium of some sort, either like a calcium carbonate or a calcite, or I'm not sure, calcite might be calcium carbonate. I don't know, I'm not a geologist. I'm all self-taught. But this seam here is not quartz for sure. It is something like a carbonate. And it is dissolving, breaking down easily, like really easily in this rock here. I believe that's where the gold came from. So today, I'm grabbing pieces like that into the bucket. The bucket will go into the backpack. The backpack will go on my back. And we're gonna hike it back to the truck where I have the crazy crusher set up. Let's start grabbing rocks. Okay, that's enough digging away from this one seam here. I'm trying not to take too much from, the bedrock itself. I just want to find the loose pieces. I don't want to break the bedrock because we are in sort of a river valley, a waterway. We don't want to disturb the bedrock here. So I'm trying to get the loose pieces, the pieces that are sort of already broken free, rather than, you know, pounding away on the rocks. I do have to be careful that I am only grabbing material from the seam itself, that I'm not actually, you know, grabbing the plaster material that's washing down the river. If I find a piece of gold, and one piece would be enough, I want to know it came from the hard rock and not just, you know, washed down the river. And I'm definitely not taking this stuff here, which is the seam itself that's decomposed, but I don't know how much plaster stuff may have sort of mixed in with that, so I could get plaster gold. And I really want to see what the rock holds. Now at this point, someone's saying, "Hey, you idiot, you should have gone over that with a metal detector first." I did. I went over it with my Gold Monster 1000, and I did not see any signals anywhere in this area. Okay, moving on to seam number 2. I'm using the shotgun approach here today. I'm taking from all 3 seams, putting it all in one bucket, gonna crush it all down. If I see any gold at all, I will then take a sample from each seam separately and see possibly if I can refine which seam is actually giving me the gold. Because they're so close together, they're all probably the same actual, you know, seam works in there, the same stockwork, whatever that is creating all of these seams. They're probably the same deposit. The same event caused them all. So a rock like this, big chunk of the seam going through it, could have gold in it, no doubt about it. But because it's all rounded over, obviously that came from upriver, somewhere else. It won't tell me what's in the seam right here. So I don't want to take material like that with me, because I want to know what's right there. I don't want to know what's up there somewhere, at least not yet. So I've got some from there, some from there, some from there. I might take a little bit from that rusty spot right there, although that looks more quartz-ish. I still might take some from there. My bucket is getting full. I can't take it right to the top. I just can't carry that much on my back. My poor back. That's about how much I want, but I'll get a bit more from right here first. Okay, I said I wasn't gonna fill that bucket too much. Sure enough, what did I do? Oh, my poor back. Bryson, I need you. Oh, anyhow. Let's get it in the backpack and hike it out of here. Luckily, my backpack perfectly fits one 5-gallon pail. Let's hike out of here. This isn't too bad carrying this backpack. Actually, I was kind of dreading it, but you know, it's not all that heavy. Having the bucket in the backpack rather than on the arm makes it not bad. Although I'm only a quarter of the way there. I may have a different story when I get to the truck. Okay, the big uphill was a bit much. That took it out of me. I'm about halfway there. Yay, I made it back. And it wasn't that bad, though my legs do feel a bit like jello at the moment. So the guys at Crazy Crusher contacted me a little while ago and said, "Hey Dan, we would like to send you one of our product, one of our Crazy Crushers. If you like it, please use it in a video. If you don't like it, do with it as you will." Well, I used it once. I tried once crushing a little bit of rock, and I instantly liked it. So I thought it's a perfect opportunity to crush that rock that I just carried back in the Crazy Crusher. Show everyone what it can do, and if it will work for you, please check out the link below to Crazy Crusher and order yourself one. So the Crazy Crusher is a hand-powered jaw crusher for crushing rocks. Yes, I've got rock crushers that run off of, you know, gas or electricity, but in the field here, where I don't have the luxury of bringing those big rock crushers, this is awesome. And it does, or you can order with it a mount that goes in your trailer hitch. It does need a very solid mount to use, so that's why, you know, a trailer hitch is nice and solid, or you can mount it to a board or something like that. I did have the option of carrying it upriver to crush right there, or, you know, carrying the rock back here. I figured if I carried this all the way upriver, it meant I had to carry it back too. It's not that heavy. Now, I do have other videos about how jaw crushers work, but basically there's two tapered jaws. They taper down to a very tight gap at the bottom, and one jaw moves back and forth and up and down at the same time. And as it does, it pinches the rocks really hard, and they busticate. There's a good word, busticate. So I have a bin underneath to catch the crush. You just put a rock in there. See if I can do this one hand while holding camera. And you push down and crunch. 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 And crunch. It does have a little lid that keeps the flying rocks from hitting you. It has an adjustment, so you can adjust how big the crush comes out, and they do recommend you do it in a couple passes. You do a nice big coarse crush first, then you sift that out and put the stuff back in and do a finer crush. For my sake today, with this calcium carbonate, I think that's what it is, it's really brittle and breaks down easy. I've got it set to about a 1/8 inch gap, and I'm happy with getting a 1/8 inch crush. You'll see that like 99% of the material is smaller than 1/8 for sure, but you have some of those bigger rocks in it. And because what I'm looking for here is the indication, the proof that there's gold in this stuff, I'm not doing an actual like fire assay with it where I need to know the precise amount. It's okay that I'm doing a coarser crush. And that may also leave me with a piece of the white quartz or white calcite with gold on it. Though that being said, most likely the gold will come right free, just the way it forms in calcium. If there is any. Something tells me that's not quite how tripods are supposed to work. Well, you do what you have to do. Well, I'm sure getting a workout doing this. It's not the same as dropping it into the big gas-powered crusher, that's for sure. That bucket would have taken me maybe 15 minutes in the big crusher. I've been going for an hour now. It's doing a fabulous job, and for a smaller, sample, it would be really quick. But, a full bucket of rock is a lot of work. And I just put a piece of almost solid bedrock in there. Just had a little bit of quartz on one corner. And the solid bedrock is definitely a lot tougher than the quartz, calcite, whatever it is. That stuff crushes easy. The bedrock, I really have to work at that. Anyhow, taking a water break, then back at it, about halfway through my bucket. My old eyes are essentially blind. I can't see anything anymore. But I saw something flash as I was crushing. Is that a piece of gold? Oh, wouldn't that be nice? So as a little break from crushing, because my arms are very tired, I'm gonna take this little piece here, is that a piece of gold? I can't tell. I'm gonna take that, put it in my pan, with the rest of the stuff. I'm gonna go for a little trip down to the river and pan. I'm really tired from crushing, so I need a break. Nope, it wasn't gold. Oh, too bad. Anyhow, back to crushing. I see the bottom of the bucket. I might actually get through all of this. Whew, that's a lot of material. done. One full bucket. Well, we're done. One full bucket through the Crazy Crusher. And we have a whole lot of crush. Now, if you're saying, come on, Dan, that wasn't a full bucket, you know it. Well, actually, I came in last night and I already had a half bucket carried out. So the half bucket plus a half bucket, in fact, was a bit more than a full bucket. And there it is, the crush. Time to go pan that out and hope for at least one piece of gold. Well, here we are down at the beautiful river on my dream claim with a bucket full of hard rock crush, a gold pan, a seat, a pond. Let's get panning. Oh, that water's cold. Now again, if I was doing like a fire assay or some other kind of test, I would want to crush this a lot finer than I had. But because I'm just doing sort of a proof of concept, a proof of, hey, is there gold there? Having this 1/4 inch minus crush is actually good for me. And because most of the material is all consistent, that white calcite stuff, even if there's a piece of calcite that has gold attached to it, it will be heavier than the calcite that doesn't have gold attached to it. It should still sink. That's not the case when you have sort of just a mixture of random river gravels, because they have different specific gravities, different weights, we'll say. I really hope to find a piece in there, like a 1/4 inch piece of calcite that has a 1/8 inch of it being gold. But really, one piece of gold today is all I really, hope for. Well, no, I hope for a whole lot more. I hope for a pan full of gold. But one piece that I can prove is hard rock straight out of this seam will be enough to tell me that that seam hosts free milled gold. Okay, first of about 10 pans. Nothing. But that's only the first pan. Okay, looks like I'll have about 5 pans in total. If that was from my blue chip mine, that much crush would have shown gold. Would have shown, 2 or 3 or 10 little specks. I didn't see any in that last pan. But that's the difference between a known gold-bearing seam versus what I hope to be a new discovery. Have that big rock get in there. Ooh, I should get the close-up on this. Just to show you what this hard rock crush looks like once it's been washed a little bit. If you're thinking my panning style is terrible right now, it probably has something to do with the fact I'm trying to do this left-handed. I'm not left-handed. Why don't I just move the camera to my left hand? That would make more sense. There we go. Now I can pan properly. So this is the second of about 5 pans worth of material. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. Kind of weird panning something that is all lights like this. Also weird panning looking through a camera lens rather than looking at the pan. Okay, pan number 2 of maybe 5 pans. What do we have? Uh-oh, there's nothing there either. Not even little specks. Well, let's keep going. Let's see what we have today. In pan number 3, there's nothing. This is not looking good. Pan 4? If none of these pans has any gold in it, what I would conclude about that flour nugget is that it weathered out of a rock that washed down river. So a rock from a gold-bearing seam washed down river and then, decomposed. It broke down. and it left that flour nugget sitting there on the surface right beside this seam, fooling us. But that flour nugget has not moved in water, unless it was encased in another rock. You can tell by the look of the surface, it's not rounded on the corners. You can still see the leaf pattern, the way it formed in the rock. But the fact that I haven't seen a speck in the first 3 pans here makes me really think I'm not going to see any in the rest of this bucket. But I've been wrong before. Maybe I'll be wrong again. According to some people, I'm wrong all the time. Okay, pan number 4. Pan number 4. Pan number 4. My chances of finding anything are going way, way down. Pan number 5. Pan number 5. Lucky pan number 5. This is where those internet trolls who just love to slam me at every moment say, Dan, you could be making more working at McDonald's. Yes, I could. I will agree with you there. Would I enjoy it? Not at all. Would I get out here to the wilderness having fun? No. Would I get exercise? Not a bit. Oh, maybe a bit. I don't know. I love doing this, whether I find gold or not. So you people who love to slam me at every possible turn, I'm loving life. Pan number 5. Not even a speck. I guarantee you there's none in here. I guarantee it. If there's gold in here, I'll eat my hat. Uh-oh. So it was a lot of work today, that's for sure. But proving something doesn't have gold is part of prospecting as well. Just as every bit as big as proving something does have gold. In fact, you prove places that don't have gold far more often than you prove that they have gold. Admitting defeat before I'm even done the pan. And in pan number 6. A piece of gold! Oh, just a bit. Hey, there's a piece of gold in pan number 6. Let's get out the close-up. Well, a piece of gold in the last pan, of course. You know, is that placer gold or is that hard rock gold? That's hard to say. It's very, very, very coarse. No doubt about it. But I think I see some worn corners. Worn corners come from rolling down the river. Could this be a little piece of placer gold that just made it into the cracks and was stuck to one of my rocks? I think so. It's really coarse though. And that flour nugget came from the same spot. Oh, that's hard to say. And there it is on my finger. That's pretty coarse gold. I don't know, that could be right from that seam. Maybe the little rounded corners I see just came from the crusher itself. Again, my old eyes, I can't tell. The more I look at this, the more I think maybe that is hard rock gold. Again, if it's not right from that seam, it sure didn't travel far. The mystery continues. Well, very impressed with the little crazy crusher. It is a good workout, that's for sure. It's definitely not going to replace my big crushers by any stretch of the imagination. But for something that's easy to throw in the back of the truck and I can crush right on site, I like it. Again, I didn't use it quite the way they say. If you want to see how they say to use it, they have videos. They put out videos on how to use this thing to get the crush down to a powder. I didn't need a powder today, so I just set it for, 1/4 inch and went. But it's a good little machine. If you'd like your own, there's a link below. The guys at Crazy Crusher were good enough to give me one. I liked what I saw, I liked how it worked, so I made this video. Thanks guys, you're awesome. Oh no, the weather report is calling for some inclement weather tomorrow. I sure hope I can get back here and do my next video. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed me checking out that hard rock seam. Of course, it didn't pan out, but that's part of prospecting for you. I still had a lot of fun, I learned a lot, and, well, there is still a chance that that gold is coming from right there somewhere. I have more investigation to do. Hope you're all having an amazing day. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please leave me that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I hope I've earned your subscription. And a big thanks to everyone for watching, especially my patrons. Because of the support of my patrons, I get to make these weekly episodes of Dan Hurd Prospecting. Hope you're all having an amazing day. And until the next video, which will hopefully be tomorrow upriver. Until then, bye.